Well, God bless yous anyway. The old guy has come back. My body isn't, though. My body is broken. So my back is all jacked. I can't ride the motorbike. I'm too old for it. It's too big for me. Anyways, it was all good. Still love the guys, my family, but I don't feel ever welcome. So, but this weekend was a test for me to show kindness and mercy on the people. That's what I had. That's what the Lord had me do this weekend was just be kind to them, offer help. That's why I can barely walk because I offered help and I hurt myself lifting wood and just being there, doing nothing, not joining what they were joining, not joining the reindeer games that they were doing. They party at night, I go to bed. That's what it was. How you doing, Junior? I don't take part of their party nights. I go to bed. So, but I'm back home and we're back in Enoch where I need to finish Enoch off because I'm the type of guy that's got to finish the book. I can't just open it up and do some of it. I've got to finish it all. How you doing, Junior? God bless you, brother. My back is killing and yeah, my body is just beaten and old and worn. So we were here talking about, and he was raised on a chariot. The spirit and his name vanished among them. And from that day I was no longer numbered among them. See, your star turns into a chariot. That is you. Okay? The, your triangle, when it becomes all, it turns into a part of a chariot. And the chariot even goes, because it goes up to its wholeness. It has no, when you leave this body, it has no reason to be from this earth to the seven heavens. It goes to the heavens of heavens. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So, and on the chariots, a spirit and on his name vanished among them. Okay, and from that day I was no longer numbered among them because you're home. And he set me between the two winds, between the good wind and the heaven, between the north and the west, where the angels took the cords to measure for me the place where for the elect and the righteous. There's the cord. And there I saw the first father and the righteous who from the beginning dwell in the first place. He saw our Father, right? Which they don't know who he is on the earth. They call him Jesus. Not even close. Okay? So, and they took him, they put him elsewhere, they measured his cord, and his cord was gold. He made it. Your cord that goes up to you, up to your all. That's what he's talking about. And he put him a place in the heavens of heavens underneath the feet of the Father, where we all sit anyway. So it came to pass after this that my spirit was translated and ascended into the heavens. And I saw the holy sons of God. All of them. Doesn't say some. It says the holy sons of God, where they were stepping on flames. That's us, the ones stepping on the flames, putting them out. Their garments were white, and their raiment, and their faces shone like snow. White as snow. That's all. Not the color of anybody's skin or any flesh. light. So when I saw two streams of fire, and the light of that fire shone like a hyacinth, uh, hyacinth, and I fell before my face of the Lord of spirits, and the angel Michael, one of the archangels, seized me by the right hand and lifted me up and led me forth into all secrets. You will know everything. Okay, all secrets. And you're going to see how it started, and you're going to be in the start, because the start is the end and the end is the start. And he showed me all the secrets of righteousness, and he showed me all the secrets of the end of the heaven, and all the chambers of all the stars. That's the bridegroom chamber. In that chamber comes hail, hoarfrost, joy, all these other things, because it's all predestinated to your spirit to pour out on you, whether it's good or bad. If you don't have a balance of good and evil, you can't make it. You're not fully good and you're not fully evil. Nobody is. It's the yin and the yang. Sometimes people sin because they have to. They don't teach you this. That lights the way for you to get back on the right side. And you're going to be going side to side, oscillating side to side throughout your entire time of following the Father. It's going to get less and less and less, but you need that balance of darkness. Sometimes, what the book of Paul says, blessed be the ones that sin on purpose for the house of the Father. People don't know how to teach it. Well, I'm perfect. Well, then you're far from it. Okay? This weekend, it was an easy weekend for me. I just wanted to observe and be kind and take mercy on the people that you know that may not make it. So I believe in, at the end, there'll be one last call for the ones that are in darkness. They only were here to come to light. There's not just 144,000 going. They'll be the ones that call at the last second. I've heard it in a couple books now, so I understand that now. Okay. But when we started our journey, we had to be marked to make it through that journey. Okay? Because it's tougher being a Christian than being one that was made to keep his eyes closed and never open them up until the end, like the guy on the cross did. Okay? So there's going to be those. Okay? And it's not going to be very many, but I can't tell you who. So, and he showed me all the secrets of the end of heaven, and all the chambers and all the stars and all the luminaries. Those are all angels. Whence they proceed before the face of the holy ones. And he translated my spirit into the heaven of heavens. This heavens ain't heaven. The seven above you is hell. We're in the belly of it. So when he descended, he actually descended into part of hell to get you. That's what we live on. And I saw there, as there were structures built of crystal, and in between those crystal tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw a girdle which girt that house of fire. And on its four sides were streams full of living fire. This is talking about paradise. This is what it looks like. Okay? And they that gird up the house and round about were seraphim, cherubim, and Ophanim. So seraphim. But when we do our change, it's all going to be just the son of the Father. That's it. And brother to Jesus, right? So, and those who are asleep, those who sleep not and guard the throne of his glory, I saw angels could not be counted, thousands and thousands, 10,000 times 10,000, encircling that house. And Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and Phaniel and the holy angels who were above the heavens. You get it? And not in these heavens. They can come through it. Yes, they do. Go in and out of the house, and they come forth from the house. And Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phaniel, the many of holy angels without number. And when then the head of the days, his head was white, pure as wool. Okay? Doesn't mean wool, pure white as snow. They on the earth believe that's what he is. Head of days is Jesus Christ. In his raiment, indescribable. And I fell on my face, and my whole body became relaxed, and my spirit was transfigured. And I cried with a loud voice, with the spirit of power, and blessed and glorified and extolled. And these blessings which went forth out of my mouth were well pleasing for the head of days. And the head of days came with Michael and Gabriel, Raphael, and Phanuel. Thousands and 10,000s of angels without numbers. Lost passage wherein the Son of Man was described as accompanying the head of days, and Enoch as one of the angels. One of the angels, as in 463, concerning the Son of Man, who is born unto righteousness. There's only one born righteous, and that's Jesus, Enoch, Troth, and Hermes. Those are all Jesus. He's come into the world more than one time. His incarnation was more than once. And I listened to that book of Troth again this morning. That was Jesus. Okay. So, and righteousness abides over him, and the righteous of the head of days forsake him not. And he said unto me, he proclaims unto thee peace in the name of the world to come. Enoch. He is the Prince of Peace, the real Prince of Peace, not the false one. For from hence has proceeded peace since the creation of the world. He's the Prince of Peace. Enoch. How you doing, Cormac? Tells you in this book who Enoch is, what his placement was when he was done on this earth. He was Troth, Hermes, and Jesus. 3-4 times the guy came, and they're waiting for his second coming. Good luck. Doesn't come with observation. Your eyes will not see it. It'll happen when you least expect it. And it shall be unto thee forever and forever and forever. And all shall walk in his ways, since righteousness never forsake him. He's talking about Enoch. With him that their dwelling places, and with him their heritage. And they all shall not be separated from him forever and ever and ever. And so shall be the length of days with the Son of Man, and the righteous shall thou have peace and an upright way name. That's what you're in right now, the upright. Okay? In the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. Like I was teaching, there has to be a balance between good and evil. If you don't have any evil in you, then you wouldn't be here. So anybody that tells you that you don't have evil, they're lying. Okay? There's evil in all of us. And sometimes we've gotten over absolutely everything, and we still have to do it because what it does is it lights your fire. If you don't have any darkness in you, you're just going to sit on the fence going la-di-da, I'm making it through heaven. No, you're not. You're not reading your books. You're not teaching. You're not planting your seeds. Then you're withering. Okay? So you have to have a balance of good and evil. I'll know my light's up here. Every once in a while, that balance goes and you do something wrong. Who's there to explain it? Don't worry about it. People worry too much about it, and it'll cause you gray hairs and white hairs. You want to start looking like me? Don't worry too much about it. Cry out to the Lord quickly. Repent quickly and get back on your horse. You haven't been redeemed from that thing yet. And just put your faith in Him. You will be. Okay? Redeeming happens throughout your life thousands of times. Each time you are lifted up again and the Spirit's back with you, residing beside you, you've been redeemed. Sometimes darkness, there's no other way to keep you going because these books say you must read until you're dead, until your eyes can't read anymore. You must listen till your ears are gone. Are your ears gone? Are your eyes gone? No. You can't ever stop it. Sometimes we get lazy and we start withering when the cold comes, when the hail hits you. Hail hits you. Who hits that's all. Like, I'm going to go back here and show you guys when it talks about the hail. Okay. So, and there perceived the voice of thunder and the lightnings, and that was preserved in the chambers. So, all chambers have hail, chambers of hoarfrost, chambers of mist, chambers of rain, chambers of dew. Those aren't chambers. Those are your chambers. Each and every evil thing you did or went through, that was hoarfrost. Or that hoarfrost is great tribulation. Some of the things I went through were very hard. So, and hail, that's a storm set for you from your all. It's predestinated. All. So you have to keep going through dark times. It keeps getting lighter and lighter and lighter. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and you know that. That's the important thing. To know that there's light at the end of the tunnel for you. Never doubt the evil that you live in. Doubt the evil flesh, but never doubt your spirit. Okay? The book of the corpses of the illuminaries. There it is. The illuminers of heaven. The relations of each according to their classes. Talking all about us. Their dominion in their season according to their name and the place of their origin, which according to their months, which Uriel, the holy angel who was with me, who is their guide, showed me, and he showed me all their laws exactly as they are, and how it is to regard to all the years of the world and unto eternity. So we were all put here in special times. In who knows how many? Could be once or three. We don't know. So, and this is the first law of the illuminaries. The luminary of the sun has its rising on the eastern portals of heaven, and it is setting in the western portals of heaven. And when I saw the 6 portholes, which the sun rises. So what do you think porthole east, what sun is he talking about? He's talking about Jesus. Okay, the sun, the one that you can't see, not the one that's above your head. That's Cain. And the 6 portals in which the sun sets and the moon rises and sets in these portholes. And the leaders of the stars and those whom they led, 6 in the east, 6 in the west, all following each other in accurately corresponding order. That is their predestination. They're ordered to move where they move, and they just move it because they were ordered ahead of time. Also, many windows to the right and to the left of these portholes for them to go through. And the first there goes forth the great luminary, named the sun, and its circumference is like the circumference of heaven. The great is the Father, and he is quite filled with illuminating and heating fire. You, angels. The chariot, which I'm trying to think who it was. Oh, well, how come I can't remember it? I always remember that. Help me out, it's in the Bible. It starts with an E, not Enoch, not Elijah. Ay, ay, ay. Not Ecclesiastes. Hold on, I gotta check my stuff. I got people texting me. The books of the Bible. How come it's Ezekiel? Darn it. It's explaining Ezekiel's wheel, right? Sorry, guys, I just had a brain freeze. The chariot which he ascends, and the wind that drives the sun goes down from heaven and returns through the north in order to reach the east. That's what he saw coming. He saw it and he didn't know how to explain it. Okay, Ezekiel, because it's the first time he saw it in his flesh. So when it is guided that he comes to the appropriate, appropriate that the porthole and shines his face of the heaven. In this way he rises in the first month in the great porthole from which the sun rises in the first month, and the 12 windows opening from each proceed a flame when they are opened in their seasons. Okay, I have this book. I don't know how much I'm going to do of it because it's not really important to know about the portholes and going through them, right? We know that the courses of the heavens move, but the earth doesn't. That's the problem. If you don't know the stars and the celestial beings, that they're beings and that they're all up above us, evil and good ones, then you're not going to go home because you're going to call them ETs, you're going to call them different gods. Yeah, Ezekiel's wheel. And each wheel had a wheel within a wheel. We move around with them. If we are to come back, all is coming back this time. All Son of Men. Not missing one. All the saints are coming back. It's going to be mind-blowing. They're already above us. Lots of videos of them flying around above us now. The heavens have come down into this heavens now. It's pressing it out, like the Bible says. Pressing out. Okay? When the sun rises in heaven, he comes forth through that fourth porthole. 30 mornings in succession, and he sets accurately in the fourth porthole in the west of heaven. And during this period, the day becomes daily longer and the night becomes shorter. And he is talking about the sun. He even, that's Cain, the son above you. He has to do what the Father has him to do. He uses the evil. People don't know that. He uses Cain. He has to move where he has to move. And he set courses as well. So all the evil angels are set course to where they go. And their course is to come down and get who belongs to them. What the Son, this Son you can see with your eyes, is Cain. He has to listen, or else he'll be no more. That's why he's called the Son of the Morning, not the Son of the Bright Morning Star. Two different stars, two different suns. They're trying to say the bright morning star is the devil. No, it's the morning star, because doesn't your sun rise in the morning? So on the day to day, it is longer than the night, the ninth part of the day, exact 10th part of the night, 8th parts. The sun rises from the fourth porthole and sets in the fourth, and returns to the fifth on the east 30 mornings, and rises and sets in the fifth porthole, and the day becomes longer in 2 parts. See, I'm not going to get much into this now. It just talks about all the portals and all the things coming through them. And it's not really important for us to do, okay? So we're going to start off. Remaining days, she becomes bright, remaining 13 parts. I got to tell you that one. So I do believe this is the moon. Yes. And the Bible calls it she. It's not something you can land on. It's spiritual. Anything spiritual, you can't land on. And she sets with the sun. And when the sun rises, the moon rises with him, getting our light coming from the moon down here, giving our light to our stars so that they can sometimes through the night, darkness comes in to just give you light. Sometimes the day before, it was dark all day because there was clouds over your head. People don't realize that. The darkness was meant to come to you. It's a balance of darkness and evil. If you're starting to get lazy, sometimes he puts evil on you. And it shakes you and rattles you. And you come back even stronger. You have to have a balance. So, of her morning, in the commencement of the lunar day, the moon sets with the sun and is invisible. So is our sun, the one that we rely on, not the one above us. That night, with 14 parts, half of one of them. That's when it goes to half light. And she rises on the day exactly the 7th part, and she comes forth and reduces from the rising of the sun. It's giving out light. And in her remaining days, she becomes bright in the remaining 13 parts. Okay? So he gives her light, which makes it so our stars can see, gives us light. So when I saw another course in the law for her, and how she, according to the law, she performs her monthly revolution. And all these angels, the holy angel, and who is the leader of them all, showed to me all their positions and wrote down the positions as he showed them to me. And I wrote down the months as they were, and they, in the appearance of the lights, till 15 days were accomplished. In single 7 parts, she accomplishes all of her light in the east, and in a single 7 parts, accomplishes all her darkness on the west. Left dark of the moon, and the right side of the moon full light. They never get light, remember? That light is for us. Our angel up there, our star, needs that light. It draws from that light. That's Jesus' light. And without him, you're gonna draw darkness. This is what this is telling you. On the dark side of the moon, they don't have light. They can't perceive it. They can't be around it. It'll consume them. Turn your light on in your dark room. If it's a light that never goes out or burns out, who wins? Light or darkness? Can darkness overcome light? Impossible. Just turn your light on in the dark room. So, in the months, alters her settings. In certain months, she pursues her own peculiar course. That's talking about your own peculiar course. Now that you've had light to go that way up there, you have light down here. You see? And it all comes from above, all. From the big one. So in the 2 months, the moon sets with the sun. And those in the middle portholes. And those in the middle portholes. What I just said. The 3rd and the 4th. She goes forth for 7 days and turns about and returns again through the porthole where the sun rises and accomplishes all her light. Now, your light's going to get drained. You've accomplished to fill yourself with all the light that you have for that time. And she recedes from the sun. And in the 8th day enters the 6th porthole, which the sun goes forth. And when the sun goes forth from the 4th portal, she goes forth 7 days until she goes forth from the 5th and turns back again in the 7th day into the 4th portal, accomplishing all her light, and she recedes to enter into the 1st porthole. You see, you are the porthole. There's many different portholes. Okay. The sun goes forth, thus I saw their positions, how the moons rose, not moon, moons. 7. You're one of them. How the moons rose and the sun sets in those days. And in 5 years, because you're hooked to it, you're middle, that's the moon. That's light. Everything that comes from that moon is showing you that you're getting that light as you go back and forth to the porthole to feed truth. So that goes back up to that light, which goes back up. She needs the food, keeps going back down and up, back down and up. through your angel Jesus and other angels that are helping you, is filling you. It's a big job, man. And if the 5 years are added together, the sun has an overplus on 30 days. And all the days which occur to it for one of those 5 years when they were full, the amount 364 days. And all the overplus of the sun and the stars amount to 600 days in 5 years, 6 days. And it just keeps going on years and years and years and days. So I'm going to pass by this because it's all just, and it gives warmth and it heats and it diffuses over and it sets and it sets and it goes through this whole 100 days, 1,000 days. It's not an important part, right? So in the first quarter is called to the east because of the first, and the second the south because of the Most High will descend. There, there in a quiet, special sense, he who is blessed forever descend. He's talking about the end. And the west quarter is named the. I got to go to the washroom. Been waiting for this. Of course, it's got to get me while I'm teaching. Uh, I always hate leaving. Like, I don't mind going out for the weekends here and there, but I'd rather stay home. But I have a wife, so I kind of have to. There's so much about what they do up there in heaven. So I'm looking for, just to get back into the word here, I'm going to do the book of Troth again, because I really understood it this time. And in those days, the angel Uriel answered and said to me, Behold, I have shown thee everything, Enoch, and I have revealed everything. He's the only one that had it all. Same as Jesus, same as Troth, same as Hermes. It's the same guy, same spirit, different body, different earthly name. Yeah. So, and in those days, Uriel, behold, I've shown thee everything, Enoch, and I have revealed everything to thee, that thou shouldest see the sun and this moon, and the leaders of the stars of heaven, and all those who turn them their tasks and times and departures. Sometimes you're in a storm. Well, that storm is in your chamber. It's predestinated to you. The hail and the fire is all predestinated to you. It gives you light. Whether it's bad or good, it gives you light. Mostly bad for us down here. Turn it to good light. So, and in the days of the sinners, the years shall be shortened, and their seed shall be tardy on the lands and the fields, and all the things on the earth shall alter and shall not appear in their time. And the rain shall be kept back, and the heavens shall withhold light. That's today. Withhold. Yeah. And in those times, the fruits of the earth shall be backwards. Does that remind you where we are now? Good for evil and evil for good? That's what Christians are doing. Teaching with crosses. Look at my cross, kissing it. That's evil. You ever see heavy metal bands? They wear crosses all the time. They sing about the devil and they love the devil. So if the devil's wearing a cross, I'm definitely not. They're backwards. There's no light. The teaching's backwards. They say Trinity God. No, it's one God, because we're all one. You see what I mean? But many. So you always have to add in the other part of it, not give half of it. We are all one and not say anything else. No, you have to give the whole part of it. But many spirits in one. Unity. And they shall not grow in their time. They're not growing. They think they are. And the fruits of these trees shall be withered in their time. And the moon shall alter her order and not appear at her time. Does it all the time now. People are wondering where the moon goes. And in those days the sun shall be seen, and he shall journey in the evening on the extremity of the great chariot in the west. What sun is it talking about? The good one. And shall shine more brightly than accords to the order of the light. And many chiefs of the stars shall transgress the order prescribed. And these shall alter their orbits and tasks. Whatever you do here alters your orbit above you, in the middle, the triangle. And not appear at the seasons prescribed to them. And the whole order of the stars shall be concealed from the sinners. They don't even know what they are. They're calling them comets and meteors. No, those aren't meteors. I saw some in Peru the other day going straight across again. Those are blue ones. Those are good ones. That's why they're all different colors. Some have smoke, some have red, some are blue, some are white, some are green. And they never come down and crash. When they come down, they split up and they go into who they belong to. And the thoughts of those on earth shall err concerning them, and they shall be altered from their ways, because they err from who made the heavens. So if you don't know what the heavens, it's in the heavens, you don't know the Father or your angel or Jesus Christ. That's 95% of the churches believe we live on a spinning ball. Yea, they shall err and take them to be gods, and evil shall be multiplied on them, and punishment shall come upon them so as to destroy all. Okay? And he said unto me, observe, Enoch, these heavenly tables, and read what is written thereon, and mark every individual fact. And I observed the heavenly tables, and I read everything which was written thereon, and understood everything. And read the book of all deeds of mankind, and of all the children of flesh. Read the books of all on this earth, of the Father. And they're not doing that. They're still stuck in their lukewarm Bible. So it's telling you to read everything which was written thereon, and understood everything, and read the book of all the deeds of mankind, and of all the children of flesh that shall be upon the earth. Read them all, not just one. Upon the earth in the remotest generations. And forthwith I bless the great Lord and the King of glory forever, in that he has made all works of the world. People, not anything else, not substance or material. He created you with the Father. He made us all. And I extolled the Lord because of his patience, and blessed him because of his children of men. Because of us. Patience. He's like, he has patience with you to get to where you're going. And that patience never stops. His grace and his mercy never stops for his children. And after that, I blessed it. Don't abuse it. The man who dies in righteousness and goodness, concerning whom there is no book of unrighteousness written. There is you haven't really sinned, because this is an illusion. You're already in the books. There's no books for his children written of unrighteousness. They don't have any. Even though down here, they have lots. But up there, no. There is no book for you of bad. It's only good. All your works go up to the Father. Your bad works get tossed off into oblivion. So unrighteous written, against whom no day of judgment shall be found. Because you've gone through your judgment on earth. It's been tough. Many books talk about it's not easy. And those 7 holy ones, the 7 stars, the 7 candlesticks. It's talking about groups, not just one. Placed me on the earth before the door of my house, and said to me, declare everything to thy son Methuselah, and show all to the children that no flesh is righteous in the sight of the Lord. for he is their creator. No flesh. None. See, if you didn't have that scale, you'd be saying you're righteous. And you'd be putting yourself above other people when you're no better. Don't go pointing your finger at sin. This weekend I could have did it all weekend, but this was a weekend for me to be zipped about God and just be kind and nice to the people. It was a weekend of me forgave even the guy that sold me the van. Okay? It was to make it full and over. And I actually had a nice couple talks with him. I didn't put no blame on him. It's my fault. I took all the blame. I took a lot of humility this weekend, guys. So 1 year we will leave thee with thy son till thou givest thou last commands that thou mayest teach thy children and record it for them and testify to all thy children. That's exactly what we do. We read it, we learn it, and we teach it. But if they don't accept it, don't waste your time. That's what I'm trying to say. So in the children, the record, and you'll go 1 or 2 extra miles for them, but after 2, buckle your shoe. Teach them the children in the record of it, and testify to all thy children. In the 2nd year they shall take thee from their midst. Let thy heart be strong, for the good shall announce righteousness to the good. The righteous with the righteous shall rejoice. Separating the goat from the sheep right now. And the tare from out of you to make you a sheep. And they shall offer congratulations to one another. But the sinners shall die with the sinners, and the apostate go down with the apostate. So why is it second the apostate go down with the apostate? They're as much as the sinners right now, the Christians, the fake Christians. They're the apostate church. The last church in the Bible is called Laodicea, which is the apostate church. And they will go down with all their brothers for teaching the wrong way. The best thing to do in your life is teach truth. Don't worry about your flesh. He's got that. He died because you can't do it. He died to be your strength, not for your sins. You didn't die for your sins. You have to reap what you sow. You die to your sin daily. Well, you got no power, eh? And in those that practice righteousness, and those who practice righteousness shall die on the account of the deeds of men, of their flesh, and be taken away on the account of the doing of the godless. Okay? Who practice righteousness shall die on the account of the deeds of men. Yeah. We all have to die. Our flesh is the man. And in those days they ceased to speak to me, and I came to my people blessing the Lord of the world. So, and now, my son Methuselah, all these things I am recounting to thee and writing down for thee. I have revealed to thee everything and given the books concerning all these. 365 books. You were told to read them, not just one. That's what carnal-minded do. They think there's only one book. There's not 66. You're missing 300 of them. And these books tell you to read all the books that are on earth. But yet, no, the Spirit only gave it for the Bible. 66 books? Over thousands of years? Not even close. So preserve my son Methuselah, the books from thy father's hand, and see that thou deliverest them to the generations of the world. His words never died. It's in many books. I have almost all of them. I have given wisdom to thee and to thy children, and to thy children that shall be to thee, and generation after generation after generation. The word is not going to die until it's all over. There's not going to be any other books written. Okay, you can't write a book in this time, and I won't listen to it. It'll be garbage. That they may give to their children for generations this wisdom, namely, that passeth their thought, consciousness. And to those who understand, I shall not sleep. Those who understand are not asleep. They're awake. They're not dead. They're awake. Same thing. The dead in Christ will rise first. That's rised. That's already risen. And then those who are asleep, they don't even know that. Same thing. Sleep. But shall listen to the ear that they may learn this wisdom, and it shall please those who eat thereof better than good food. Not food of this earth. Not gold of this earth. Not plants of this earth. Everything is based on the heavens. Blessed are the righteous. Blessed are those who walk in the way of righteousness. You do, no matter what. And not sin as the sinners. Not sin as the sinners. See, they just run to it. It doesn't bother them. If you sin, it's going to bug you. In the reckoning of their days, in which the sun traverses the heavens, entering into the departing from the portholes for 30 days with the heads of thousands of the order of stars. We're with him. Together with the four which are intercalated, which divide the four portions of the year, which lead them to enter into the 4 days, owing them to men, shall be at fault and not reckon them the whole reckoning of the year. Yea, men shall be at fault and not recognize them accurately, for they belong to the reckoning of the year and are truly recorded thereon. For every one of the first porthole, and the one in the third, and the one in the fourth. 1, 2, 3, and you go through them. 4. The one in the sixth is to complete the 164 days, and the count for it is accurate, recording, reckoning thereof exact for the luminaries, and the months of the festivals, and years and days has Uriel shown and revealed to me, to whom the Lord of the whole creation of the world have subjected the host of heaven. Remember, whenever it only says world, he's meaning that world. He's meaning this world and the people that are on it and that world, because we never left it. He has power over the night and day, over dark and light. That's what that means, over evil and good. He has power over it all in the heavens to cause the light to give light to men. Sun, moon, and stars, and all the powers of heaven which revolve in a circular chariot. See, this is the Father. He gave the light to everyone. Without light, Jesus couldn't be there. Right? So he gives us all our light. Come from him from the beginning. That light can never be lost if it's in your seed. So in their circular chariots, they're not called asteroids, are they? All the words that they have for the cosmos are fake and lies. And these are the order of the stars, which is you, which set in their place and in their season. You're a star set in your place for that season. And the festival's a month. And sometimes when you go somewhere else, you're made, that light will follow you. That star will follow you. Goes where you go. It'll lead you by night and day. So, and these are the names of those who lead them, who watch that they enter into their times, in their orders, in their seasons, in their months, in their periods of dominion, and in their positions. There are 4 leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year enter first. And after that, 12 leaders in the order who divide the months and the 366 days. They are the heads over thousands who divide the days. And for the intercalary days, there are leaders which sunder the 4 parts of the year. I don't understand all that stuff, okay? So that stuff is, I don't really understand. I don't understand everything. But the important stuff I do. But I don't understand what these 12, and I know that they're moving light and cause, and they're there for us, whether it be good or evil. And they're moving the way they're moving because they're ordained to move that way. And if the darkness is ordained to be on you at that time, it's going to come on you. Okay? Because God knows your walk. The Father knows your walk because He gave it to you before you came down here. And Jesus walked through it for you as well. These heads over thousands are incorrelated between the leader and leader. Each behold a station, but their leader make the division. And these are the names of the leaders who divide the 4 parts of the years in which ordained. Michael, it's not Michael, it's Malkiel, Hamamelech, and Mahaljal, and Neral. See? Those are the 4 angels that hold up this world, this earth, on the 4 corners. Okay? And these names are who that lead them. Andrea and Norio, and I, Jasasiel, and I, Ijelumiel. These are the one that follow the leaders in the orders, and that one follows the other 3 leaders in the orders, which they follow the leaders of stations and divide the 4 parts of the year. In the beginning of Malkaljal rises first rules, whose name Timpani and son, and all the days of his dominions whilst he bare rule are 91 days. I don't understand all that. This stuff doesn't matter to us. Okay? It's just giving us the whole word. And then these are the signs in the days which are to be seen on earth. So those colors, those angels, beside those are signs for the times that we live in. In the days of his dominion, sweet, sweat, and calms, and all the trees bear fruit. We are the trees bearing fruit. Those are the trees, actually. You're becoming that tree. Whether it be good or bad, it can bear good fruit for you. Remember, a good tree cannot bear evil fruit, and an evil tree cannot bear good fruit. So bear fruit, and the leaves produced on all the trees, and the harvest of the wheat, and the rose flowers, toiling. That's what we are. Wheat, we're the wheat. the rose flowers and all the flowers which come forth in the field, but the trees of the winter seasons become withered. Is he talking trees? Not at all. See, through all this, all these, even the evil angels are helping you get home. Because without, you wouldn't have that balance. You wouldn't know where you were. You have, you have to know that we all have some unrighteousness in us. And some of these evil trees that lead us and guide us the wrong way, sometimes we need to go to that wrong way to learn the truth about it. Or you've run out of oil. You can't run out of oil. That's tribulation oil from the evil. When evil strikes you, that oil lights, like it lights in you when you run back to Jesus. It's using the oils to keep us going. Without that balance of good and evil, you're not going to get home. That's why he uses good for evil and evil for good, and they don't understand that. So through the same bad ones, they followed him and didn't repent. They did the deeds that they shouldn't have did and didn't care, didn't have a conscience about it. You did the deeds, and it helped deliver you from doing them in further days. So, and these are the names of the lead, and these guys are bad, but he's using them for good. He puts good and evil on us on purpose. But he told us up there in the beginning that this was all going to happen. So don't worry, you're going to get home. And these are the names of the leaders which are under them as Barkiel, Zabasiel, and another who added a head of 1,000 is called Helo Joseph. And the days of the dominion of this leader are at an end. The next leader after him is Helam Melech. Helam Melech. Weird names. Whom once named the Shining Sun. That would be Cain. And all the days of his light are 99 days, and all the signs of his days on the earth, glowing heat and dryness. And the trees ripen their fruit, produce all their fruit ripe, ready. Without the sun, nothing grows. So he's using an evil angel. Cain. Some books don't have the same names, okay? Doesn't matter, I know who it is. Which ripens your fruit, grows your... Without that evil sun that's burning your back as you're out there and causing you red face and skin being torn off, without it, the world wouldn't survive. So they survive off of Satan's lights. And it's a false light, actually. So, and gathered in, and it creates the fruits, creates in the field, the wine press, everything that is in the field and wine press. So what happens? That evil makes you go, ouch. It's pressing it out of you. The evil angels helping you in the wine press. Without the evil in there, you couldn't become free of it. You'd be stuck with it. You have to learn about it all. These things take place in the days of the dominion. These are the names and the orders of the leaders of those heads of the 1,000. Gideal, not Gadiel. One guy said that's God. God's evil. No, it's not. It's Gideal. Keel and Heel. The name of the heads of 1,000, which are added to them, Asphiel, in the days of the dominion, are at an end. These are the ones that lead all of us, lead them astray, but lead us back to our path through the trouble that they put on us. These are the kings. These are the princes. These are the governors, the cops, the fire guys, anyone taking care of your country. Usually they make a lot of money. So fire guys that do the fire, put out fires, firefighters, they sit around and do nothing all day. They got the best job in the world. They got to fight a fire once in a while, one of the most dangerous jobs. But most of them in their life only see one or two fires. And they're usually not Christians. Okay? I don't know though. I know one. I knew actually a whole group of them that used to come and work out at me, and I knew they weren't Christian. Okay? They didn't like talking about this stuff, right? But that doesn't mean there's the odd one that isn't, right? And now, my son Methuselah, I will show thee my vision which I had seen, recounting them before thee. 2 visions I saw before I took a wife. That's not a wife on the feet. That's till I took that wife. And the one quite unlike the other. The first when I was learning to write, the second before I took thy mother, when I saw a terrible vision. See, when you gave yourself to the Lord, that's when you took a wife. When you learned that you have a Holy Spirit and learned much of the heavens, then you learned about your mother. Yeah, I can say some of them probably are, buds. We're in every sort of faction you can. So, and regarding them, I prayed to the Lord. I had laid me down in the house of my grandfather, Melalah, when I saw a vision how the heavens collapsed and was borne off and fell to the earth. That's the vision when the heavens all came down here. Okay? And when it fell to the earth, I saw how the earth was swallowed up in great abyss, and mountains were suspended on the mountains, and hills sank down in the hills, and the high trees were rent from their streams. He's talking about the end, and hurled down and sunk into the abyss. The earth is going into the abyss, the lake of fire. This earth is not your earth, and you're never going to live on it. And you never did, and it's an illusion, and you never will, because the heaven and the earth I make anew. That's what he's telling you. The whole entire earth, including our flesh, goes into that abyss, but not your soul and spirit. So when I fell into my mouth, and I lifted up my voice, and I cried aloud and said, the earth is destroyed. The earth is this earth. It's going to destroy the whole earth. How come people say they're going to remake it? Because you believe in the 1,000-year reign, dummy. There is no 1,000-year reign. This earth is not going to be livable. The Bible tells you, Enoch tells you, there's many books that tell you. This isn't your earth. Our earth is the world. Our mother, bordello. And my grandfather, Emilio, waked me up as I lay near him and said to me, why dost thou cry so, my son? And why dost thou make such lamentation? Well, that's what we do. And I recounted to him the whole vision which I had seen. And he said unto me, a terrible thing hast thou seen, my son, and a grave moment in this dream vision. As to the secrets of all the sin of the earth, it must sink into the abyss. All flesh is sin. We all fall short of the glory. And destroyed in a great destruction. The whole earth, man, it's going into the abyss. There's going to be no use for this earth. People keep thinking, let's rebuild it again, rebuild it again. You can't rebuild the world. It's already there. Before it's the heaven of heavens. Before this stupid seven heavens, some of these preachers are teaching there's only three heavens. There's like 72 of them. You're pretty dumb, preacher. And I'm not pointing out any names. Okay. Hold on, it's getting a little chilly. So, like I said, this book is Gnostic Gospel's fullest. It matches up with all the other ones. So, and I recounted to him the whole vision which I had seen. I've seen it. I've seen nothing left on this world a couple times. Okay? So I've seen visions that he has. Did I see it in full? No. Only saw bits and pieces. And I had seen, and he said unto me, a terrible thing hast thou seen, my son, and of great moment in thy dream vision. As to the secrets of all the sin of the earth, it must sink into the abyss. And be destroyed with the great destruction. It's the great destruction of the earth and all the sin and all the angels and everything when we consume it all. And then the Father throws it into the abyss. In the abyss, it's nothingness, back to nothing, where it came from, into a black hole. It will swallow this earth. It's called the black hole, the abyss. They know it. They just call it the black hole. I watched an old movie from when I was a kid, and they went and tried to go into the black hole. It's called Black Hole. Okay. And now, my son, arise and make petition to the Lord of glory, since thou art a believer, that thou remnant may remain on the earth, and that they may not destroy the whole earth. He's saying that because that's what we do. But it's getting destroyed. He already told you twice. Now go and try to save the ones. Bring a seed to them. Bring some light to them is what he's saying. Try to get them up on their feet and worshiping the Lord. My son, from the heaven, all this will come upon the earth, and upon the earth there will be great destruction. And after I arose and prayed and implored and besought and wrote down my prayer for the generations of the world, and I will show everything to thee, my son Methuselah. We have it all. Okay. And when I had gone forth below and seen the heaven, and the sun rising in the east, and the moon setting in the west, and the few stars, and the whole earth, and everything as he had known it in the beginning, then I blessed the Lord of judgment and extolled him, because he had made the sun go forth from the windows of the east, and he ascended and rose on the face of the heaven, and he set out, traversing the path shown unto him. That's what he does. We follow. We're with him, even in the heavens, in the star that we are. And I lifted up my hands in righteousness and blessed the holy and great one, and spoke with the breath of my mouth and with the tongue of flesh, which God had made for the children of flesh. He spoke the word of God out of his mouth, because He made the Spirit that speaks through you in flesh. He gave you that Spirit to speak. You're the mouth of God. They should speak therewith. And he gave them breath in the tongue and a mouth that they should speak therewith. Blessed be thou, O King, great and mighty in thy greatness, Lord of the whole creation, of the heavens, King of kings, and God of the whole world. And thy power and kingship and greatness abide forever and ever. And throughout all generations, the dominion of all the heavens are thy throne forever. There it is again, saying your throne's already there. Your throne is your wheel, is you, is your mother, you, your virgin, and the whole earth. So, and thy throne forever, and the whole earth thy footstool. Us, the people, is the whole footstool. He's in charge of all spirits. He's under everybody's authority. Or they're under his authority. Sorry. So he can do whatever he wants. If he wants to crush you, he uses the other footstool. Satan is the footstool of these heavens. But the Father and Jesus are the footstool of all spirits. Someone does something wrong, they can order something to happen forever and ever. For thou hast made and thou rulest all things. What I just said. There he goes, looking out to the word to perform. And nothing is too hard for thee. Wisdom departs not from the place of thy throne. You never lose your wisdom. Now, you might have done something wrong and it's gone astray from you for a bit, but you never lose it. Nor turns away from thy presence, and thou knowest and seest and hearest everything, through every ear, through every eye, through everything. And there is nothing hidden from thee, for thou seest everything, because he created it. He knows everything before it even happens. Every hair on your head, every storm you're going to go through, he knows them all. So now the angels of thy heavens are guilty of trespass, and upon flesh of men abideth. See, the trespass, forgive us our trespass, happens up there when it happens down here. Thy wrath until the great day of judgment, and now, O God, O Lord, the great King, I implore and beseech thee to fulfill my prayer, to leave me a posterity on the earth. So the posterity you're left on the earth is not physical or substance. It's light. Some, in those lights, there's darkness in them. And when you get over them, light gets put to you. Posterity on the earth is not riches. It's not made of substance or material. Treasures in heaven. And not to destroy all flesh of men, and make the earth without inhabitant, so that there should be any eternal destruction. And now, my Lord, destroy from the earth the flesh which has aroused thy wrath, but the flesh of righteousness and uprightness establish as a plant of eternal seed. Because you're not a full tree yet. When you're a full tree, you're full of light, and your job is done here on the earth. And hide not thy face from thy prayer of thy servant, O Lord. All right, I'm going to come on a little bit later. I have to go to the store here, do a little more shopping. And I'm going to come on for another hour later here. So thank you for coming, and I love you guys all. Just keep looking up towards the good. You know, today this weekend I made a pact, and I didn't even realize it. I said, I'm just going to keep looking forward. I'm going to avoid when I have an evil stubble on a stubble or I stubble my foot. I'm going to repent and keep moving forward and not let it bother me. Thanks. I'm so glad. I'm so glad to see you guys. I'm so glad I'm back home. Man, am I ever. God bless you guys. I'll be on in an hour. I'm only going to be gone for an hour.